Good morning. I guess it's afternoon now. It's 12:30. Bad hair going on. I got one done up nail. I've been practicing with acrylic and yeah, I gotta take this one off, but it's stuck on there pretty good and I need acetone nail polish remover to remove it, to soak it, and I don't have any, so I'll be taking a trip to the store so I can soak this off. I spent like 2 hours. Hello, Ms. Terrell. How are you? I spent like 2 hours doing acrylic nails on myself for the first time last night, which was atrocious. It, I didn't even like it on my left hand. My right hand is my dominant hand. I didn't even like it on my left hand. But when I had to use my less dominant hand on over here, it was even worse. So after all that time I spent on it, I was like, they're coming off. Hey, Misha. Hey, Kathleen. It's going all right. I'm finally feeling better. I'm still coughing a little bit and still got some sniffles, but I feel better. Um, my son, we both, me and my son, had been sick and quarantined. We both got tested. Mine came back negative, but I wasn't able to go back to work until his came back. And believe it or not, his has still not come back. They said 7 to 10 days. And when he called over the weekend or like Friday or whatever, they said it's been taking about 10 days. So he called yesterday and now they're telling him 15 days. So we're like, are you freaking serious? So I was like, I talked to work and I was like, this is what's going on. I know that you need to know whether or not he's positive or negative for me to come back. And I was like, but technically, I have been quarantined for 2 weeks on this coming Friday. So I was like, I know that I'm supposed to quarantine for 2 weeks, whatever. Regardless of what his test results are, even if he's positive, Friday I'll have been quarantined for 2 weeks. So I was negative. So technically, Friday I can go back to work. But yeah, his bosses are like impatient now. They want him to come back, but they're talking I think to HR right now to see how they're going to handle it. But I said if he quarantines for 2 weeks, and it said 2 weeks based on when your symptoms started, which for him would be tomorrow. So he can technically go back to work tomorrow, even though he doesn't even have his test results yet because it's been 2 weeks. So, and he's doing even better than me. He coughs on occasion, but usually when you get sick with a cough and stuff, the cough is always hanging on. But I am not ambidextrous. No, I am not. So it looked really, really terrible. And this is just a tip, and it's on there really, really good. But I ended up buying the wrong kind of kit. I wanted to get the acrylic dip, like to dip your nail, like paint it on, dip it, you know, take the brush to it and then dip it again and da 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 da. But I got the wrong one. I got the one where you have to mush the acrylic on, and I'm not good at it. Not good at it. So I thought, well, I spent the money already, so I'll just practice with it. This is on here like really, really good. But I want to get the actual dip because then the only painting or putting on anything with my less dominant hand for over here would be nail polish. Unless I use an acrylic dip that's colored. Then I wouldn't have to worry about it, honestly. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad we're feeling better too, because it was miserable. I mean, we had all the classic symptoms of what they said, that virus has. But I came back negative. I had a different test than he did. I had a newer test. So I think that's why the results came back so much faster. And he had an older test where he said he felt like they stuck that swab so far up in his nose that they tickled his brain, which they didn't do to me. Um, but even if his test comes back positive, it's been 2 weeks. But I don't know. I don't know. I think it's crazy that it's been that long to wait. I mean, the whole idea is to know whether or not you can risk leaving the house, even with just a mask on. And he still doesn't even get to know if that's what he had or not. But I mean, we both were coughing, we both had congestion, we both had a fever. Um, we both started off with a sore throat. All the stuff that there's a headache, all the stuff they said that I don't know. But I guess because we took him to ReadyMed, and they said they get so many tests every day that they got to do, and that's fine. But I'm sure that where I went, they have a lot to do as well, and it took 4 days to get mine back. So yes, mine was a newer test, but I don't know. It's weird. I'm just angry with ReadyMed that they're not taking it. You know, like how can you expect people to wait 15 days to find like by then your quarantine period is over, for heaven's sake. So then what's the point of the test? He should have just quarantined himself to be on the safe side without getting tested and then gone back to work in 2 weeks. I mean, at this rate, that's what he's doing. But yeah, I should show you guys. I brought Harley up here. I ought to start thinking in terms of girl. I always say he, but every time I try and sex her, she is displaying female looks. So she said I don't look like someone who has the virus. How do people that have the virus look? That's weird. That you don't look like someone who has it. Who does look like they have it? Your nails grow fast. I did learn that the more you type or tap your fingers, if you do this a lot to the tips of your fingers, it stimulates nail growth. So I have noticed that when I'm typing on my phone or typing on the laptop, if I'm on the computer a lot or whatever, or I do a lot of this, my nails do grow faster. So there is something to that. If your nails are typically slow growing, tap your fingertips. It stimulates nail growth. But yeah, Harley, I have Harley in here. So I'll take her out. She's getting big. I should weigh her while I'm on with you guys. Hi. Oh, she's like, don't. You're freaking out. I'm trying to pick you up. Calm down. There we go. There she is. Trying to. There she is. She in this thing, in this hand. There we go. There we are. Getting big. She's getting big. Oh, where's the camera? Yes, and chubby. You're getting chubby. She loves her mealworms and crickets. I do need to get more crickets. I've been home now for over a week. I'm out of crickets. I've been feeding her mealworms. But she's nice and plump. Yes. Getting more spots. She didn't have spots on her body when I first got her. She's getting more spots on her head. I ended up chopping off my nails, though my real nails, because they were nice and long after I had my glued on ones, because they grew in real nice underneath. And then as I was dealing with bug problems and moving things and all of that, I ended up breaking nails. So I ended up just chopping them off. No, she is bumpless on her at the base of her tail. Yeah. No, and that the ones with the bumps at the base of the tail are male because that's their genitalia. And she doesn't have it. She's just chilling. There's her ears on the side of her head, which basically holes in the side of the head, and they're almost transparent. You can almost see right through her head in a certain light. I can't. I'm not aiming very well. I'm not aiming very well. Hey, Mrs. Green Thumb. Just showing off Harley here. How big she's getting. How she's changed in her coloring. She was 11 grams the last time I weighed her, which is really good compared to when I first brought her home and she was 5 grams. So she's grown. It's harder for me to tell how much she's grown unless I look at pictures of when I first brought her home, and how her skin is changing color and getting spots and stuff like that. But my husband doesn't see her as often, so when I take her out, he's like, "Oh yeah, she's grown." Yeah, she could totally change her coloring. There are leopard geckos that end up being all black by the time that they're older, or you know, just a pale yellow with a bunch of leopard spots, or whatever. And she does have more spots than she started out with. But yeah. And I love getting a straight on view of her face because it looks like she's smiling. Yeah. Just just chills. One cool fact about them, it's a defense mechanism or whatever for them in the wild. If they're being chased by a predator, they can drop their tail. So it's possible for that to happen in captivity as well. If you completely scare them, um, or pick them up by their tail, their tail will come off. Um, but it does grow back, which is the cool part. No, she's kept downstairs usually. I just brought her up here for now, but usually she's kept downstairs in her tank. They can bite. She has tried to bite me, but it doesn't hurt at all. She doesn't have teeth. They don't have teeth. So it's going to all be in how powerful her jaws are. And right now she is small enough that I'm just like, it startles me. But then I'm like, what the heck do you think you're doing? You know, it doesn't hurt at all. As she gets older, it may pinch depending on how much of you that she gets. But right now, it's just like, hello, what are you trying to do? But for the most part, she doesn't bite. If I'm holding her and she's pretty much had enough of me, she has turned her head and opened her mouth and got my finger, which again doesn't hurt. They don't really need to have super powerful jaws or teeth because uh, leopard geckos are insectivores, so they only need that enough power to eat their insects. No, I don't pay for StreamYard. If I was going to use it like all the time for more, like it's free up to 20 hours a month. So as long as I don't exceed that, I don't have to pay for it. And way back, I used to stream a lot more with it. So when they did change that, I was like, ooh, I'm going to have to limit how much I stream. But I've just naturally kind of fell off, and I need to stream more because my hours dropped so much. But yeah, for right now, I'm not paying. I don't want to have to pay for it. So I'm just keeping track of, I'm not streaming near enough to exceed the 20 hours. You say hello, huh? Live camera is not working. Wonder if it's a camera setting, because I have the camera setting for my laptop right now won't work. I'm using Snap Camera. If I turn off Snap Camera, then my live camera will work, but then I have to restart the computer to be able to connect to Snap Camera. So, and it's depending on what it's set at. Like if it's StreamYard, you have to change what camera you're using. But I don't know. Sometimes restarting will help. Restarting the computer. You trying to wiggle out of my grasp, huh? My hand is warm. You need warmth. Huh. That's interesting. Wonder why. Yeah, I saw it started like buffering really bad, and then all of a sudden, like, and I refreshed my screen and it didn't help. It was black, and then it just went away. Yeah. And interesting fact, leopard geckos are the only kind of gecko or lizard that has eyelids, which is super cool. I was actually reading up on mourning geckos. It would be really cool to have them. They're communal though, so it's better to have more than one. And they're really, really small. Like I think this size, if not smaller, is all the bigger that a mourning gecko gets. And they have little pads on their toes so they can climb glass and all of that, which she can't do. And mourning geckos are only female. There has not been a documented male found, which is really interesting. Females just lay fertilized eggs. And I've never heard of that before, but I did all this research, and mourning geckos are female and lay fertilized eggs. And really interesting. Really, really interesting. So but when they're babies, they're super, super small. So there would be instances where they could escape the enclosure if I don't think they'd be able to get out of this with the spaces in the top, but like the enclosure that my tarantula is in, if the vent was open, they'd be able to escape. So because they're that little. They're typically not a gecko to handle either, the mourning gecko. They're really quick, and just very skittish, and if it jumps off your hand and runs off, you'll never get it back. So they're more of an observational gecko, basically. I wouldn't mind a crested gecko. They look a lot different than leopard geckos, and okay, I'll put you back. She's like, put me down. Crested geckos have they're more omnivore. Leopard geckos are insectivores. Crested geckos are omnivores, where they'll eat insects and fruit and veggies. And you can also get crested gecko food, like a powdered form that you mix with water, kind of make it like a gel or something. They'll eat that. And they're arboreal, whereas leopard geckos need the floor space to move with hides, whereas crested geckos and mourning geckos need the height because they like to climb and they'll hide in plants and on branches and things like that. Not to my knowledge. Let me just look. Let me see. Can you contract strep? If I can spell strep from any gecko or a specific kind of gecko? Yes, Harley eats crickets and mealworms. I usually will drop in medium-sized crickets. I'll usually drop in about 4. As she gets older, she'll only need to eat every couple of days, every 2-3 days or whatever. Right now, because she's so young, she eats every day. But I drop in about 4 crickets, medium size. And then now that I don't have crickets and I haven't been out of the house to buy more crickets, I throw in about 6 or so mealworms. And she'll go after those. And obviously she's a good eater because she keeps gaining weight. Can you get strep from a gecko? Let's see. Nothing's coming up about it. All I'm seeing is worried your sore throat may be strep. Now I do see a question about whether or not you can get salmonella from geckos, but can gecko lizards make people sick? My guess would be no, not if you're washing your hands after you handle them. My concern would be, can you, when you're sick, if you're handling them, make them sick rather than the other way around? A chameleon would be way different. And the thing is with 2, like, I don't know how you would contract anything from a chameleon because chameleons typically aren't handleable pets. They are more observational. They're something that you would have in your arboreal setup, mist them, give them everything that they need, but you don't handle them because they're very skittish. They're very shy. They don't want to be handled. They're a leave me alone kind of animal. So I guess it depends on if he's handling it, because typically you shouldn't. Yeah, I feel a lot better. I mean, I still cough and I still have to blow my nose on occasion and sniffle and that, but I feel much, much better. But I'm not going back to work until Friday because My son's test results are still not in. He called yesterday. Yesterday is the 10th day, and they said now it's 15 days. So I called work because they would love for me to come back. We're short staffed. And she's had me on the schedule, but I keep updating her and she keeps covering my shifts. I was supposed to work yesterday and I was supposed to work today. And then I have tomorrow and the next day off. My next day scheduled is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So those are the days I'm going to work because by then it'll be 15 days and, or whatever, 14 days. And that means I'll have been quarantined for 2 weeks, no matter what his results are, so I can go back. I can't believe it's taking 15 days to get his results back. Ridiculous. And he feels better too. Like he's basically like me, a little bit of a cough, a sniffle, the stuff that usually hangs on. But he feels better too. So, but his work is wanting him to come back too. He may have just got strep. I mean, I've only had strep one time in my life, and I didn't even have anything but a couple of cats. So it may have just been a coincidence that he got it when he had a chameleon. Let's see. Strep throat from right. Reptiles and risks of infectious diseases. Let's see. Reptiles such as snakes, turtles, tortoises, and lizards have become popular as pets. Their appeal is that they are colorful, quiet, and generally easy to look after, and their unusual appearance is very appealing to small children. However, they require careful handling as they carry a range of germs that can lead to human illness, especially in small children, pregnant women, and elderly, and people with serious diseases such as cancer. The range of reptiles that can be obtained today in Ireland is very large, including snakes, lizards, chameleons, iguanas, geckos, bearded dragons, and skinks. Let's see, blah, 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 blah. All reptiles carry a range of germs, including bacteria, viruses, parasites, and worms. Many of these can be transmitted onto the family of reptile owners. Salmonella are commonly found in all types of reptiles and can spread from reptiles to humans. Botulism, bowel infection, liver disease, da 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 da. Always wash your hands. No, it doesn't say anything about something like that, so I'm wondering if it was just a coincidence. Huh, that's interesting. I didn't even know a dog could carry strep. Hello. Harley was just looking at me. But yeah, so I think it would be really interesting to have a crested gecko. Morning geckos would be interesting, although I wouldn't know what I would do when they would breed, because if they're all females and they all lay fertilized eggs, they're gonna breed, and then what do you do with them? Because you also have to, unless you leave the eggs in, and when they hatch, sometimes the adults eat the females or eat the babies, females. So you can take out the babies or leave them in, I guess, and just let nature take its course. But a crested gecko would be pretty cool. Crested geckos have a really interesting look. Let's see. Let me show you a picture. Actually, I could do it this way. I could do a screen share. Let's see, crested. I'm gonna look up a crested gecko so you can see. Crested gecko. And then I can do the same with mourning geckos too. That's what kind of pictures are you giving me? Geez, oh Pete. And they are smaller than leopard geckos. They're really kind of interesting. Trying to find a nice picture to show. Looks like they got pads on their feet too so that they can climb glass. This is a cute picture. All right. Come on. All right, that's all the better it's going to do. Screen share. Okay, right now you're going to be, I guess, looking at me. What the heck? Are we not gonna? Hello? There we go. So right now, there we go. So you can see the screen. You see that? How cute is he? On his side of they have interesting looking eyes, and they get their I'll show you one of their back. They get the name crested gecko from they got like ridges that go along their eyes and down all the way down their backs. So let me show you. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Well, there would be a, see, like crests right here, comes all the way down and goes all the way down their backs, which is how they get their why do we keep doing that? All the way down. What the heck just happened? Oh, goodness gracious me. It's not working properly right now. All right. So we'll stop sharing. All right. And then when it comes to a mourning gecko, and it's mourning as in sad kind of mourning. Mourning gecko. They're small and cute. Let's see. Here is one that's just literally, it's a baby. Let's see. I can get you. It's a baby. It says, found this baby gecko in the kitchen sink this evening. It was on the side which houses the garbage disposal. I covered the disposal hole with a cup and chased it around for a minute or two before I was able to finally grab the little critter. Since I don't see baby geckos too often, I decided I'd shoot it before, like take a picture before I let it go. I don't know, wild. But that's basically a mourning gecko on the tip of the finger. Let's see. I don't know why it's doing. There's a little mourning. They're not very big at all. But little escape artists. They are found in tropical areas, so it is possible to find them wild in tropical areas. Come on. Why are we not? There we go. He's licking the sides of his face. That's what I wanted to do. There's a mourning gecko. Lepidodactylus. Scientific name. Anyway. Interesting stuff. Did you say where they're from? Oh, tropical. They don't they'll thrive in room temperature, but they need high humidity. Hey, Crystal. And the same with crested geckos. They're gonna be arboreal, living in trees and hiding in hiding in trees and stuff, but they need the humidity. It helps them shed, and just, you don't have to. They say for the mourning gecko, you don't have to give them a water dish, because as you're daily misting them, they'll drink the droplets off the side of the tank. But very interesting stuff. Hey, bud. Hey, Crystal. How you doing? I'll show you again. I got Harley here. I should go downstairs and get the kitchen scale so I can, the digital scale so I can weigh her. She's getting big. Went from 5 grams to 11 grams since I got her. She's growing. Changing pattern a little bit. Definitely loves to eat her crickets and mealworms. Yes, you do. My husband said when he was stationed in Guam, there was a gecko living in his like, I don't know if it's cabin or hut or tent, or it was a wooden structure from what he said, but there was a gecko living in there, and it was quick and that kind of thing, and it very well, although Guam is more desert area, but it wasn't very big, he said, which I guess could be a mourning gecko, but they want humidity, and it's not very humid in the desert, it's just hot. So I don't know. But he did say, he was like, I had a pet gecko once. And I'm like, oh, cool, what'd you have? And he's like, I don't know what it was. And I'm like, what do you mean? It wasn't that he had a pet gecko, it was that there was a gecko living in where he was stationed. Guam is more tropical. I thought Guam was more desert. He said it was maybe the part where he was desert, because that's what he always referred to it as, being stationed in the desert. I don't know. You staring at the screen? Ooh. I can hear Remy downstairs chirping away. I've never been to Hawaii. My sister-in-law and her husband were stationed in Hawaii for 4 years. I was jealous. We never did get there to visit them while they were there. Wonder why he said it was more desert where he was. Hi. Rub your little head. Rub your little head. All right. Put her back. You miss Remy? I could go down and try and get him. It'll take me a second. I'm sure he'll love to come out of the cage. If you want me to go and get him, I can try and go and get him. Your plant has no pods. Oh, yeah, I gotta try and find how to. I mean, I watched videos on how to harvest seeds from Soloshi, but I can't seem to find them on mine. It says on what blooms to look at, which I had, but I still can't find the seeds. They're small, but maybe they're just not ready yet. I don't know. Not quite sure, but I definitely, yeah, I can go get them. You just gotta be patient with me. I will be right back, guys. I will go and get Remy. All right, here I am. Took a little bit of convincing for him to step up on me. Yeah, a little bit of convincing it took, huh? Here we go. There we go. Where are you going? He needs to find a place to grip. My brother is coming Thursday. Ooh. So what's Hawaiian food? You don't have any place to grip, do you? Huh? I need to wear a different shirt. So what foods are Hawaiian foods? I want to know. Pineapple ham and macadamias. What are you looking that way for? Huh? He doesn't know what to do because he doesn't have a lot of gripping room. He might fly off. He might go that way. Can you say hi? Say hello, hello, hello. Meh, meh. Do something for them. One, two, three. You're so quiet. Four, five, six. Are you shy? What a good boy. Quack, 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 quack. I know you can hear me. You're listening. Quack, 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 quack. Oh, he's oinking. How come when I oink, you don't oink? When I quack, you oink. That was a very quiet laugh. We're still waiting. Hey, Jules, we're still waiting on Ian's too. He called them yesterday because it was day 10, and they said it's gonna take 15 days. 15 days? Are you kidding? Say hello. 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 Meh, 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 meh. Quack, quack, quack. He's being very, very, very quiet. Yeah, isn't it ridiculous? 15 days. So as of Friday, I'll have been quarantined for 2 weeks. So Friday, I'm going back to work. Like, regardless of what his test says, because it's been 2 weeks. It's stupid. He's going to go back to work too because we're both feeling better. I mean, we've got remnants of it, but the older one does. Ian said he felt like they were poking at his brain. He got an older test done. Mine felt like a flu test. They still use the swab, but they only went to like here as opposed to any higher. So it wasn't horribly uncomfortable. So the older the test, the higher up they go. And that's the kind of test he had, which is maybe why it's taking forever. Mine was done differently and done in 4 days. Like, found out the results in 4. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is and why they expect people to wait that long. The whole quarantine period, you're waiting for your test results, and by the time you get your test results, your quarantine is over. Like, serious? Okay, so they gave you the old test, which might, like, they gave you an older test because they didn't do that for me. Yeah. You say hello. What a good boy. Huh? His feathers were growing in so nice, and then he started to pluck again because I've been quarantined up here, so I wasn't letting him out of his cage. Um, so yeah, he was getting upset. You were getting upset. Yes, you were. Huh? Mhm. Yeah. Wow, not literally this. What do you mean? My doctor thought it was, huh? And it depends, I guess, on how many they have to do because, I mean, just because you get tested in one day, how many people got tested before you, those are going to be, they're going to get their results before you get yours. So they're kind of probably having to do, like, run them in order that they're taken. Oh, not literally your brain. No. The nasal cavity goes up pretty high, I guess. And it just kind of feels that way. Yeah, there's probably a backlog because more people are being tested because now there are tests available. You just pooped on me. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna get the poop off of my leg. At least it was my leg. Get the poop off. Oh, trying not to slip off with me. Poop. Poop. Don't slip. All right. There we go. There we go. Wow, that's close up of my face. No, my hubby's been fine, and he literally has been staying away from him, so from me and my son, and it sucks because now he's out of town. So the whole time that I've been quarantined, I haven't been able to get any hugs, no kisses, nothing. Leave the room with a mask on. So and now he's gone until Friday. And I'm like, I miss my husband. But yeah, quarantine really does suck. I mean, it lets you know that you really are a social creature to be staying home is one thing. When all of you are staying home, when they had stay-at-home orders, that was one thing. At least you had your family. But when you're quarantined even from your family, um, it gets really lonesome. No human contact whatsoever. I mean, yes, I talked to him, but for most of it, when he was downstairs and I was up here, we texted each other because otherwise I'd be screaming from the room or going downstairs wearing a mask, which was hard when I was already congested. So, but yeah, it's very lonesome being quarantined. And my brother-in-law had to go through it too because he works out of town a lot and he had to go it was a few months ago, but he had to go to Mongolia for work and he was there for a while. But when he got back, he automatically, because he came from Mongolia, had to quarantine. So he was in the basement of my sister's house for 2 weeks. So she cooked dinner, put it at the base of the stairs. He came and get it. He was stuck down there, couldn't see his kids or his wife um, for 2 weeks, even though they were in the same house. So yeah, it does suck to be completely by yourself. So I've been kind of battling a little depression too because you know you're completely cut off from everybody. Ooh, yeah, that's not good. I only had a low grade fever, which they say is common with it as well, but I didn't have any troubles with breathing other than just the regular congestion. But I'm going to start wearing a mask more. Well, now anymore, like places like Kroger and Walgreens and Walmart and all that are going to be mandatory masks. Um, but I was going to be wearing a mask anyway since it seems so since numbers are going up again anyway. I just want to be, we were wearing masks more before and then kind of stopped. So now I'm going to mask up again and just go in there, get what I need and come out, because it is hard to wear them for long periods of time. Like when I'm wearing it at work, when I'm working and I'm talking to a customer about something, I'll get winded because it's hard to catch your breath when you're talking, when you got the mask on. So it is harder for a longer period of time. But when I'm going shopping, I'll go in there, get what I need to do, get what I need, do what I need to do in there, and then go. Hey, Miss Southern Belle. Oh, but I mean, sometimes I don't mind when my husband goes out of town because then I can do what I want without worrying about if it's cutting into time spent with him or, whatever. But this time around, it kind of sucks since I've been quarantined from him for, a week and a half and now he's gone. But wanted to make sure that he didn't catch it. It sucks sometimes though, but I like having, the free, just to plan my day the way I want to plan it without having to worry about anything. But then other times I miss them. Hello. Are you? He's oinking. He's just doing things very quietly. Hmm? What a good boy. You need to talk a little bit. Are you camera shy? Are you saying yes, you are? You're camera shy? What are you doing? He'll laugh. You make me look like a fool because I'm the only one doing it. Say hello. Hello. I'm trying to get him to do other noises too, like just got to be repetitive, very, very, very repetitive. Exactly, Kathleen. It's a good over shopping buster. You can't spend too much money if you're rushing in and out. That's hilarious. Yeah, and there's that option too, like for people that can't wear the mask for if they have an underlying thing where it makes it really, really hard for them to breathe. That is an option, is online shopping. Online shopping or curbside pickup, they still do that. Even the store that I work at does curbside pickup. So even though you can go inside, you can call ahead and pay over the phone and then come and pick it up. Just pull up to the curb, worker goes out and hands it to you and off you go. So you don't even have to wear a mask to come inside and you can shop and get what you need. We've had people pick up crickets just doing that. So technically, if I really, really need to get crickets for um, the tarantula or for the gecko, I could call them and pay for however many crickets and just go up there and have them give them to me without me having to worry about going in, since I can't go in. Get the space food, astronaut food, all the freeze dried. Right? Freeze dried ice cream. I've had freeze dried ice cream. It's actually not too bad. It's weird to eat it when it's not cold, but it's like styrofoam, and then you put it in your mouth, and it kind of melts in your mouth, and it has a good flavor. I got something in my eye. Um, But the only thing I've tried is the freeze-dried ice cream. That's something that he really does imitate is he's doing it right now. He's just so quiet. Just yesterday, it's mandatory to wear a mask in public. Yeah. And I don't have me personally, I don't have a problem with it. I'll go and do what I need to do. I'm not going to go out and shop for leisure because that's unnecessary. But to just go, if I have to get groceries or if I have to go and get something for the animals or if I have to, you know what, I'll put on my mask, I'll go in there, I'll do what I have to do, get what I have to get, and then I leave. Yep, our count is, let me look at this. Our count is going up as well, but I know that there are places that are more hot spot, getting more like hot spotty again. Whoopsie. Hold on. It used to be easier to check. All right. Tracking it. We are up just in my county. We've had over 3,000 cases and 144 deaths, and it has gone up 6% in deaths since last week and 7% in cases since last week. Indiana, period, is over 57,000 cases and over 2,000 deaths. But in my county alone, yeah. So it's still a rising. See you, Misha. Have a good day. Hey, MT. How you doing? Are you wondering who I'm talking to? What are you doing? Huh? Hello, bird. This is Remy. Right? Say hello. That was his oink. Hello. You just want to oink? Miss Southern Belle says hello. Say hello. 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 He's not in the mood to talk. Curcuma seeds? I don't know what that is. You know what a curcuma is? What's a curcuma? Yeah, he doesn't know either. Okay, Kathleen. Yeah, he was squawking when he was downstairs. He's not doing so much talking now. You get camera shy? Huh? Did you get camera shy? You're just looking around. He's not used to being in this room. This is only like the third time he's been in this room. Teach that bird my name. Noelle Slideshows. Hello, welcome to the channel. How did you find me? Thank you. Yeah, he is a Quaker parrot or a Quaker parakeet. They're Quaker parrots, Quaker parakeets, monk parakeet. That's what he is. The Quaker part of the name is because they are they commonly tremble or quake, so that's where they get their Quaker name. Yeah. He turned a year old in May. I got him in December. You pooped on me. I could feel it running down the back of my arm. It's not very pleasant, you know that? Give me a second. He's slipping. Oh, hello. Okay. Just don't poop on the keyboard. Okay? No poopings on the keyboard. Sorry, guys. I'm cleaning poop off of me, and then I'll be good. All right. Come back. Ah! He just got me in the eyeball with his wing. Let me go and get him back. I got poked in the eye with his wing. All right. Richo, where are you? Hi. Come here. His wings are clipped so he doesn't fly, but he'll flutter to the other side of the room. All right. Harry Humstone, hello. Welcome to the channel. Hi. Ring the bell, thumbs up. All right, thank you very much. Did you have fun? Where'd you go? And considering that I've only had him since December and he's now a year old, he does say things. He has to be in the mood. He'll do most of his talking when he's in this cage by himself, and he'll just chatter away. He says hello. He says step up. He says what a good boy. He says what are you doing? He oinks. He quacks. He laughs like and he'll just imitate other noises. Yeah, which is a lot for. I find it really cool that he does that he's learned all that just in the time that I've had him. Especially since I've seen other videos on YouTube where like this girl is really knowledgeable in her birds, and she's got different kinds, and she does have a Quaker parrot, and he doesn't say anything except for, I think she said she was all excited that he now finally says peekaboo, and it wasn't the one thing that she was trying to teach him. And I'm like, I wonder why that is, that hers only says peekaboo and he's like a chatterbox. And there are things that he says that I haven't quite understood. Like he's practicing a lot of the time when he's in his cage, he's practicing things that he's heard, and I can't always make out what it is. But I can tell the difference between his normal squawking and chirping and whatever, and when he's actually trying to pronounce things. African Greys are awesome. Oh, you had an umbrella cockatoo? There was somebody came into work one day with a cockatoo on their shoulder. Someone else also came in with a macaw, a blue and gold macaw. Oh my gosh. Those are awesome birds. Expensive, but awesome birds. And she lucked out though. He's 25 years old, or was 25 years old when she got him, and she got him from the animal shelter. So a macaw will typically be thousands of dollars, and she got him for $50 from the animal shelter. I was like, oh, like that's like jackpot. Hello. What's she doing? But yeah, just a couple of my many, many pets I've got right off to the side here. My leopard gecko, because I showed her a little bit earlier. Back here in this corner and this corner, There's a couple of tanks here. I've got 3 Madagascar cockroaches, hissing cockroaches in the bigger tank. And in the smaller one right here, I've got a hermit crab. I have hermit crabs downstairs as well, but this one is alone until he decides to move out of his toxic painted shell. I don't want him in with the others until he moves out. All right, Noelle, thanks for stopping in and have a good day. You're hurting Bud's feelings by not talking to him. You know that? Yeah. He's like, well, what are you doing? You're so quiet. Mm-hmm. He's just too busy looking around. It's like, this is a room I'm not usually in. Oh, I mentioned, the animals I got back in that corner. That corner. But I also have a lot more downstairs. I got 2 hamsters downstairs, a rabbit downstairs, 2 finches downstairs, a couple of rats downstairs, and then a bunch more rats in my son's room. And there's my son. Hello. What you doing?
I'm going to Kroger.
You're going to Kroger?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. You should get me something while you're there.
With your money.
Yeah, my card is over there, I think, still.
Is it?
Should be. It should be hiding under some things. I need to take you to the bank so we can deposit your check. Once we're not quarantined no more.
Okay.
Oh, it's in my purse now because I used it. It's in the pink zip up coin purse thing in my purse downstairs. Anywho, a little slow, so I'm thinking that might go ahead and wrap it up. I only planned on really being here for about an hour anyway, and it's been an hour and 12 minutes. But now that I'm feeling better, I wanted to get on live again because I wanted to start doing it more often, and I really didn't while I was sick very much because I wasn't feeling well. So, and I should eat something too because what time is it? It's 20 to 2, and I have yet to eat. I've only had coffee. So, what's everybody else's plans for this Tuesday? Anyone have anything special planned? Hello. Any special plans? I need to go out and check on my garden too. No special plans? You gotta say hello. Say hello. Hello. Not hello. Oh. All right, guys. So I am going to head off, get some things done. Um, honestly, if I wasn't live, and since he said he was going Kroger, I probably would have gone too. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. I do want to go out to the garden though and check on everything. They always say, or I've read that pumpkins especially will do their growing at night. Like you water them in the evening, they'll do their growing at night, and then they're more just sitting around during the day. So that's why I noticed, like, when I go out during the day and look at everything, I'm like, wow, they've grown. And they do. They do their growing at night. So I got to go and check on everything. I'm going to have pumpkins coming out of my eyeballs. I'm hoping to get some more cucumbers going. Give me a second. So I will say goodbye and I will talk with you guys later.